Welcome to London, a city where centuries-old traditions meet cutting-edge innovation. From royal palaces to buzzing street corners, every corner of this vibrant metropolis tells a story. Whether it's the echo of monarchs past or the rhythm of red double-decker buses, London invites you to explore a world where history lives and the future unfolds in real time. Ready for the journey? Standing at the heart of Westminster, Buckingham Palace is far more than a royal residence. It's a symbol of the British monarchy and one of the most iconic landmarks in the world. As you approach the palace's grand facade, flanked by regal black and gold wrought iron gates and the Victoria Memorial gleaming in marble at the forefront, you feel the palpable sense of history that permeates the area. This majestic palace has been the official London home of the British sovereign since Queen Victoria's reign, and today it's where the king carries out many ceremonial and official duties. The palace itself contains 775 rooms, including 19 state rooms, 52 royal and guest bedrooms, and even a post office, cinema, and swimming pool. Though the vast majority of the palace remains closed to the public, visitors in the summer months can tour the lavishly decorated staterooms where dignitaries and royalty have been entertained for centuries. Rich with gilded furniture, exquisite chandeliers, and world-class artwork, including pieces by Rembrandt and Vermeer, the staterooms are a breathtaking showcase of British opulence and taste. One of the most anticipated events at Buckingham Palace is the changing of the guard. This traditional ceremony, complete with precision marching, red tunics, and bearskin hats, draws thousands of spectators. Set against the grandeur of the palace, the ceremony is a perfect blend of pomp and precision, capturing the very essence of British tradition. But Buckingham Palace is not just about grand ceremonies and official pageantry. It's a place deeply intertwined with the personal lives of the royal family. Over the decades, it's been the backdrop for countless national celebrations, royal births, weddings, and even moments of mourning. Whether you're watching the royal standard flag flutter in the breeze or admiring the symmetry of the palace's architecture, there's no denying that Buckingham Palace is a cornerstone of London's identity. Flowing through the heart of London like a lifeline, the River Thames is much more than just a body of water. It's the very artery that shaped the city's history, culture, and identity. Spanning 215 miles, the Thames is the longest river entirely in England, and its presence has influenced everything from trade and defense to art and architecture. As you stroll along its banks, hop on a river cruise, or simply stand at one of its many bridges, you're connecting with centuries of stories carried by these waters. From Tower Bridge to Westminster, the river offers a constantly changing panorama of London's most iconic landmarks. One moment you're gliding past the regal silhouette of the Tower of London, and the next, you're treated to the neo-Gothic grandeur of the Houses of Parliament and Big Ben. Modern structures like the London Eye and the Shard rise boldly against the sky, providing a stark contrast to the historic buildings lining the embankments. This juxtaposition of old and new is what makes the Thames such a captivating focal point of the city. Life along the river is vibrant and ever-changing. River cruises offer a unique and relaxing way to see the city, with commentary guiding you through the stories behind each monument. For the more adventurous, kayaking and paddleboarding offer hands-on exploration, while the Thames Clipper provides a fast and scenic commute for locals and visitors alike. The South Bank, a lively stretch alongside the river, is packed with attractions like the Tate Modern, Shakespeare's Globe Theatre, and a variety of street performers, markets, and pop-up events. But beyond the sights, the Thames carries the emotional and symbolic weight of London itself. It's seen the city rise, fall, and rise again, from Roman settlements and Viking invasions to the Great Fire of London and the Blitz. It's inspired poets like Wordsworth and artists like Turner, and it remains an eternal muse to those who seek to capture the soul of the city. To stand by the Thames is to stand at the intersection of London's past, present, and future. Trafalgar Square isn't just a central meeting point in London, it's a symbol of British pride, resilience, and culture. Located in the very heart of the city, this bustling plaza pulses with energy, acting as a crossroads for tourists, street performers, activists, and Londoners alike. Originally built to commemorate the British naval victory at the Battle of Trafalgar in 1805, the square now serves as a stage for both celebration and expression. At the center stands the towering Nelson's Column, a 169-foot monument honoring Admiral Horatio Nelson, who led the British to victory in the historic battle. Flanked by 4 massive bronze lions, the column is a favorite photo spot and a powerful tribute to leadership and sacrifice. Around it, the square opens up into a dynamic space where history meets modern life. Children play by the grand fountains, artists sketch visitors, and protesters make their voices heard, all beneath the gaze of London's past heroes. Surrounding the square are some of London's most significant landmarks. The National Gallery dominates the north side, its grand facade housing masterpieces by artists like Van Gogh, Da Vinci, and Rembrandt, free for all to view. To the south, the square leads down Whitehall toward the Houses of Parliament, while to the west and east, you'll find roads that guide you toward Buckingham Palace and Covent Garden. This web of connectivity reinforces Trafalgar Square's role as London's cultural and political nerve center. Throughout the year, the square transforms to reflect the city's diversity and spirit. It becomes a magical gathering place during Christmas with a towering tree gifted by Norway. It's a stage for New Year's Eve celebrations, Diwali festivals, and pride parades. And in moments of national significance, whether triumphant or solemn, Trafalgar Square fills with voices, candles, and people coming together in unity. More than just a geographic location, Trafalgar Square embodies the rhythm of the city. It's a place where the past is honored, the present is celebrated, and the future is always in motion. Westminster Abbey is far more than just a magnificent piece of Gothic architecture. It's a living monument to over 1,000 years of British history. Nestled beside the Houses of Parliament and the iconic Big Ben, this grand church has witnessed some of the most pivotal events in the United Kingdom's story. From royal coronations to solemn funerals and fairy tale weddings, the Abbey has stood as a silent witness to the passage of time and power. As you approach its intricate facade, the sheer scale and detail of the structure is awe-inspiring. Spires reach toward the sky, stained glass windows shimmer with sacred art, and every stone seems to echo with the footsteps of kings, queens, poets, and warriors. Founded in the 10th century and later rebuilt in the Gothic style during the 13th century, Westminster Abbey has crowned every English monarch since William the Conqueror in 1066. The coronation chair, still on display, has supported generations of sovereigns as they took their oaths. stepping inside, you're immersed in an atmosphere of reverence and grandeur. The vaulted ceilings soar above you, while sunlight pours through colorful windows, casting gentle patterns onto the historic stone floor. The Abbey is also a resting place for over 3,000 notable figures. In Poets' Corner, literary giants such as Charles Dickens, Geoffrey Chaucer, and William Shakespeare are commemorated. In other chapels, you'll find the tombs of monarchs like Elizabeth I and Mary, Queen of Scots. But Westminster Abbey isn't just a museum of the dead. It's a place where history continues to unfold. It was here in 1947 that Queen Elizabeth II married Prince Philip. In 2011, the world watched as Prince William and Catherine Middleton tied the knot beneath its ancient arches. State ceremonies, national days of remembrance, and even daily worship services still take place here, connecting the sacred and the secular in timeless harmony. To visit Westminster Abbey is to walk in the footsteps of legends. It's a place where the soul of Britain is preserved, where the past speaks to the present, and where the weight of history is felt in every whispered prayer and echoed footstep. Tower Bridge isn't just a crossing over the River Thames. It's one of London's most enduring and recognizable symbols, often mistaken for the more modest London Bridge. Tower Bridge commands attention with its twin Gothic-style towers and sky-blue suspension arms, blending Victorian elegance with industrial might. Opened in 1894 after 8 years of construction, it was engineered to ease traffic across the river while allowing tall ships to pass underneath, thanks to its ingenious bascule mechanism that still functions to this day. As you approach the bridge, you're drawn in by its grandeur. Massive granite and steel towers rise high above the water, adorned with ornate detailing that mirrors the architectural spirit of the nearby Tower of London. But it's not just a beautiful landmark. Tower Bridge is an experience. Visitors can walk through its high-level glass walkways, suspended 42 meters above the Thames, offering stunning panoramic views of London's iconic skyline. Beneath your feet, life bustles as red buses, cyclists, and pedestrians move between the two banks of the city. Inside the Tower Bridge exhibition, the engineering marvel of the bridge comes to life. You'll learn how the hydraulic engines, originally powered by steam, once lifted the bridge's central spans to allow ships into the Pool of London. Even today, the bridge still opens several times a week, and watching this mechanical ballet is as impressive now as it was over a century ago. At night, Tower Bridge is bathed in a luminous glow, its arches and cables dramatically lit to reflect in the waters below. It becomes more than a bridge. It's a theatrical stage for London's never-ending story. Whether seen from a riverside cafe, a boat on the Thames, or simply while strolling along the embankment, Tower Bridge captures a sense of both nostalgia and innovation. A perfect symbol for a city that honors its history while charging ahead into the future. In the heart of London's West End, where bustling streets converge and neon lights blaze against the twilight, lies Piccadilly Circus, a place that's more than just a traffic junction. It's a pulsating landmark of culture, entertainment, and city life that has drawn visitors and locals alike for over a century. Whether you're arriving by foot, double-decker bus, or the underground, stepping into Piccadilly Circus feels like entering London's beating heart. Dominated by its iconic curved building and bright LED advertising screens, the square never truly sleeps. The electric buzz in the air is tangible. Street performers, flashing cameras, and the rhythmic flow of people from all directions give it an energy that's infectious. The famous Shaftesbury Memorial Fountain, topped with the statue of Eros, or more accurately, his brother Anteros, is a popular meeting point and a piece of Edwardian art that contrasts the modern digital backdrop. But Piccadilly Circus isn't just about the visuals. It's surrounded by a rich web of culture. Just steps away is the legendary Criterion Theatre, where classic and contemporary productions captivate audiences beneath its ornate ceilings. Down Regent Street, high-end fashion beckons, while a short walk leads you into the quirky bohemian vibe of Soho or the elegance of Mayfair. At night, Piccadilly takes on an even more cinematic quality. The lights shine brighter, the sounds grow louder, and the spirit of London feels amplified. From here, you're only minutes away from iconic venues like the Royal Academy of Arts or the cinemas of Leicester Square. It's a place of crossroads, not only of traffic, but of people, ideas, and cultures. To stand in Piccadilly Circus is to feel part of something bigger, a living, breathing city where every moment counts. Nestled in the heart of London's urban landscape, Regent's Park is a serene sanctuary that offers a refreshing escape from the city's fast-paced rhythm. Designed in the early 19th century by famed architect John Nash, the park spans over 400 acres and is one of the city's most elegant green spaces. As you enter, the hum of traffic fades away, replaced by birdsong, rustling leaves, and the gentle splash of fountains. It's a breath of fresh air, both literally and figuratively. What makes Regent's Park truly special is its harmonious blend of formal gardens, open lawns, and hidden corners of tranquility. The Queen Mary's Gardens, in particular, are a highlight, boasting over 12,000 roses in full bloom during the summer months. Their fragrance perfumes the air, creating an atmosphere both romantic and dreamlike. Statues, pergolas, and water features dot the area, giving it an almost storybook charm. Beyond the gardens, the park offers a wealth of experiences. Boating on the peaceful lake is a classic pastime, perfect for a sunny afternoon. The paths winding through wooded areas and wide open fields are ideal for strolling, jogging, or simply lounging in the grass with a good book. For families, the playgrounds and open play areas are a haven of activity and joy. One of the park's most celebrated features is the London Zoo, one of the oldest scientific zoos in the world. Here you can encounter wildlife from all corners of the globe, from majestic lions and giraffes to playful penguins and butterflies in lush tropical habitats. As the sun begins to dip, the park transforms. Joggers make their evening rounds, picnickers savor the golden hour, and the city skyline peeks through the trees in the distance. Regent's Park is more than just a green space. It's a living, breathing retreat that reflects London's dedication to beauty, culture, and quality of life. Standing solemnly on the northern bank of the River Thames, the Tower of London is not just a fortress. It's the beating heart of Britain's royal and political history. With nearly 1,000 years of stories embedded in its ancient stone walls, this UNESCO World Heritage Site is a place where the past refuses to stay quiet. From the moment you pass beneath the shadow of its towers, there's an unmistakable air of power, mystery, and intrigue. Originally built by William the Conqueror in 1078, the tower has served many roles over the centuries: royal residence, prison, armory, treasury, and even a zoo. But it's most famously remembered as a place of imprisonment and execution. It was here that Anne Boleyn, the ill-fated second wife of Henry VIII, met her tragic end, and where numerous political enemies were locked away in its cold, forbidding dungeons. These stories of betrayal, ambition, and power struggles add a dramatic edge to any visit. Yet the Tower of London is far more than just a monument of suffering. Within its walls lies the crown jewels, a dazzling collection of regal artifacts, including coronation regalia, still used by the monarchy today. As you stand before the imperial state crown or the glittering sovereign scepter, you're witnessing symbols of centuries-old tradition that continue to shape British identity. The Tower's yeoman warders, famously known as beefeaters, bring the history to life with tales that blend humor, horror, and historical fact. Their presence, along with the ever-watchful ravens who guard the grounds, according to legend, if the ravens ever leave, the kingdom will fall, adds layers of character and folklore to your visit. Whether you're captivated by medieval architecture, royal legends, or the chilling echo of past footsteps along ancient corridors, the Tower of London delivers an unforgettable experience. It's not just a relic of history, it's a living chapter of a nation's story, preserved in stone, steel, and tradition. And just like that, our journey through London comes to a close. From royal palaces to riverside walks, this city has shared its stories, both timeless and modern. But remember, London is more than a destination. It's a feeling, a heartbeat of history, art, and unforgettable moments. Until next time, keep exploring and let London's charm stay with you wherever you go.